When beloved South Korean actors Jung Hae and Jung So Min's first appeared together on screen, sparks flew in a way that felt undeniably real. Their chemistry, effortless and heartwarming, was so genuine that fans around the globe hoped it wasn't just great acting. And then, to the delight of millions, they confirmed what everyone had been suspecting: their love had transcended the script. The announcement of their off-screen romance lit up the internet. Social media exploded with hashtags like #HeMinForever and #TraumaLoveStoryComeTrue. But the story didn't stop there. Just a year later, in an intimate yet lavish ceremony, Jung Hae and Jung So Min tied the knot. It was dubbed the wedding of the year, and every photo from that day reflected nothing short of a modern fairy tale. Guests whispered of how deeply in love they looked, how he couldn't stop gazing at her in that delicate white gown, and how she laughed without a care in the world when he accidentally stepped on her train. The media gushed over their every move, painting a picture of perfect harmony. Fans rejoiced, the entertainment industry celebrated, and for a brief moment, it seemed like love really had conquered all. But behind those carefully curated smiles and well-edited Instagram posts, something more complex was unfolding. Not long after the wedding, signs of strain began to show. At first, it was just whispers, a missed public appearance here, a vague social media caption there. Netizens, ever perceptive, noticed they hadn't posted about each other for weeks. Some brushed it off, citing their demanding schedules. Others weren't so convinced. Their agencies, when questioned, released sterile statements about privacy and supporting their individual careers. But it was hard to ignore the sudden absence of shared moments that had once been so plentiful. Interviews became less personal. Red carpet appearances became solo. Something had changed. Friends close to the couple started talking, discreetly and off the record. According to a longtime industry insider who wished to remain anonymous, they went into the marriage thinking love would be enough. But love doesn't cancel schedules or erase exhaustion. They were barely home at the same time. That connection they had, it didn't vanish, it just got buried beneath everything else. As the months went on, stories of tension became harder to ignore. One particularly telling moment occurred during a press conference when a journalist asked So Minutes about married life. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Her answer was generic, almost rehearsed. "We're both very busy, but we try to support each other," she said. Was a far cry from the playful, affectionate tone she once used when describing their relationship. Meanwhile, Jung Hae, known for being private, became even more withdrawn. During a variety show appearance, he was asked about married life and skillfully deflected the question, turning the conversation to his upcoming project instead. To the untrained eye, it may have seemed like nothing, but fans noticed. They always do. Then came the rumors. First, of separate vacations, then of counseling, then, most explosively, of a trial separation. The media frenzy that followed was relentless. Lloyd speculated endlessly, quoting unnamed sources and analyzing every interaction. A blurry photo of So Minutes alone at a cafe sparked debates about her mood. A candid shot of Hae without his wedding ring sent Twitter into a meltdown. And yet, through it all, neither of them said a word. That silence only fueled the fire. What were they hiding? Was this just a rough patch, or something deeper, more permanent? Eventually, one of their closest friends spoke up, under the condition of anonymity. "They're not fighting," the friend insisted. "It's more like they stopped trying. They're exhausted. Fame, expectations, pressure, it wears you down. They didn't fall out of love. They just got lost in everything else." The story resonated. Not just because of who they were, because of what they represented, the illusion of perfection. In a world where celebrity relationships are carefully managed and tightly controlled, Hae and So Minutes had become the symbol of something real. And now that image was cracking. As the first year of their marriage came to a close, they were rarely seen together. The honeymoon photos had faded from memory. Their schedules, once coordinated, diverged entirely. While fans clung to hope, reality seemed to be writing a different script. The final blow came when So Minutes quietly moved out of their shared home. There was no official announcement, no dramatic statement, just a moving truck, a few candid photos, and confirmation from her agency that she would be taking time to focus on personal well-being. And still, silence from Hae. Fairy tale had turned fragile. And no one, not even the stars themselves, could deny it any longer. While fans continued to speculate and dissect every move, those close to the couple knew the truth was far less glamorous, and far more human. The challenges that haunted Jung Hae and Jung So Minutes weren't born out of scandal or betrayal, but something more insidious: neglect, disconnection, and the crushing weight of public expectation. An insider who had worked with both stars during their pre-marriage projects shared, they were both at the peak of their careers. One thought they had it all: beauty, fame, love. But they had no time. They would finish filming late, sleep 4 hours, and head to photo shoots or events. How do you build a life together when you're never really present? That question lingered. Marriage, even under the best of circumstances, is challenging. Add the glare of the spotlight, a relentless media machine, and thousands of fans watching your every move, and suddenly, every small crack becomes a headline. Sources revealed that the couple had tried therapy. They had even taken a brief hiatus from work to travel, a low-profile getaway to Jeju Island. For a moment, things improved. Witnesses claim they looked happy, holding hands, laughing. It was temporary. The moment they returned to Seoul, the chaos resumed. Endless rehearsals, international press tours, brand commitments. Barely had time to unpack, let alone reconnect. Minutes, always the more emotionally open of the two, reportedly expressed feelings of loneliness and invisibility. She felt like she was constantly waiting for him to come home, for things to slow down. Someone to notice she was struggling. Hyun, on the other hand, internalized everything. To his credit, he wanted to make the marriage work. He never missed an anniversary, always sent flowers when he was abroad, and never spoke ill of his wife. But he also didn't speak to her. Not really, not in the way she needed. Communication broke down, small misunderstandings snowballed, schedules became more important than dinners, contracts more important than conversations. Their homes, once filled with music and laughter, became silent. They passed each other like strangers, not because they didn't care, but because they didn't know how to bridge the growing gap. Heartbreaking confession to a friend. So Minutes allegedly said, "I married the man I loved, but now I live with a ghost. He's here, but he's not with me." Professionally, both were thriving. Individually, they shine brighter than ever. But together, they were fading. Despite everything, they never made a public statement. Maybe out of respect. Maybe out of fear. Or maybe, deep down, they hoped the silence would protect what little they had left. In late spring, Jung Hae made a surprise solo appearance at a charity event. When asked about his personal life, he gave a soft smile and simply said, "Some things are better kept close to the heart." It wasn't confirmation, but it was enough. By summer, the inevitable was clear. Though no divorce papers were made public, both agencies confirmed the couple would be pursuing separate paths. Fans reacted with heartbreak and empathy. There were no sides to take, no scandal to blame. Just two people who had tried, and quietly, painfully, failed. The aftermath was quiet. No explosive interviews. No messy headlines. Just distance. A rare interview months later, So Minutes reflected, love is not always enough. Sometimes, timing is everything. And sometimes, love means letting go. Jung Hae, when later asked about the quote, nodded solemnly. She's right. Their story, though painful, remains powerful. Not because it ended, but because it dared to exist in the first place. In an industry built on illusion, they gave fans something that felt real. And even in their unraveling, they offered a lesson in vulnerability, imperfection, and grace. Today, they continue their careers, admired, respected, and forever linked by a chapter that once felt like forever. And while the fairy tale may be over, the story they shared will linger in the hearts of those who believed in it, and in them. Because in the end, the truth finally revealed wasn't about betrayal or scandal, but about the fragile, fleeting nature of love itself.